Hello everyone! Something new, as you've probably seen, mittens. Okie dokie, as you can see, winter is coming and I needed mittens. I haven't knitted so many mittens, so maybe on the screen I'll show you how many I knitted. So check it out. That many. So I do have one of my easy mittens pattern on RAVELRY. It's one size, I think, so simple. You can make it yourself. But that one I think is DK yarn. More DK worsted, isn't it? And this is a fingering. I haven't publish any pattern or anything like that, but I'm going to tell you how I knitted it because I did not follow any pattern. It's so simple. So first things first, because you definitely want to know what kind of yarn it is because it's so amazing, and this yarn is, I don't have a label, but we are figuring out. I got some leftovers from Diane, hi Diane, and she knitted a hat with it, I believe. And she had some leftovers and I knitted mittens and I still have some leftovers. Although magically the information about the yarn disappeared, but we know, and I think this is by Dragon Hoard yarn. So USA, United States, or just some states. Just people say states. So it's so pretty, and you know, for me to get anything from America, it's so valuable, or Canada, anything outside outside EU. So I'm so grateful, and the color is just amazing and divine. So now, what the color is. So this was apparently a club yarn, so special edition of Harry Potter, and this is Molly Weasley. I feel like Molly Weasley. So check it out how beautifully it knits up. I have over here 60 stitches, so I'm just saying this is how it knits up. If you wanted to recreate something like this and you have a similar yarn, it's so nice. So you may see this is my tag, because this is my kind of design, so I didn't follow anything. I put my logo and 2019 tags, similar ones in my shop. So anyway, as you can see, I have some green because I knew what I'm going to do, that I'm not going to do a full mittens. There'll be fingerless mittens, but I wanted to make it longer, so in case it gets colder, kind of close the gaps. And the same with my thumb. I know it looks funny, but I actually used them already, like at least 3 times, so they're not fresh. They're not brand new anymore, but that's how much I love them. So yeah, I knew that I'm going to do it that way, and I'm going to finish with the ribbing. And even though I was doing different ribbing, I knew that sometimes when you grab mittens or gloves, kind of where's the thing that I need to put my hand in. So I decided that I put a different color, so that kind of, oh, grab this. So the other one is also from Diane, leftover, and we don't know what that is. It's a beautiful green, and I thought it's going to go along with it so well. And I still have some leftovers. I'm afraid to use it for socks. That's why mittens. I still have some. Anyway, so what did I do, you ask? So I used my US size 1 2.25mm needles, and I cast on 60 stitches. For me, for my socks, I normally cast on 56. So basically, if you knitted socks, I have a pair that I haven't showed you yet. If you knitted socks and you kind of put your hand in it, and you're happy with what kind of grip, you could go for it. I could probably go with it, but I thought, you know what? Maybe that would be too tight. I have my watch over here. I want to put it around, and I actually could go 56, I presume, but just for my hand, that would be, I think this is a pleasure. So yeah, I added 4 stitches. You can copy me. Anyway, so I started 60 stitches. I did 2x2 rib, and I continued that for that much, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds, and I switched to a different color. I did not switch needles, and I was knitting it for, in a tube, so in a round, 8 rounds. That's how it looks over here. I was actually knitting them 2 at a time, so in case I, you know, changed my mind or forgot something, you know, I wanted to make sure that they will end up identical. So I even knitted thumbs with it, like 2 at a time. I know. There's one thingy with a thumb that I would do a different way because it's quite tight, but it's not too tight. It's quite okay, kind of holds everything together. But I think I would add 2 stitches, and I'm telling you that I actually thought to do that, but I didn't. Right, so what did I do? When you have a side of your mitten, I make one left and marked that stitch on both sides, so I could increase now stitches from that. So you could literally see, I hope you could see it over here, that it goes this way and this one goes this way. Do you see it? One goes here, one goes there. So basically we start from that bottom for the 1 stitch, and then I was increasing stitches on the side. So how many stitches did I increase? Well, at this point I had some bit on my needles, and they're circular needles, so on the cord, and I just put them around my thumb to see and count how many I need. And I would tell you how many. I think I got 19, and when I was checking that, I thought I should put an extra 2 just in case, because when you're doing this, you're a little bit stretching the fabric anyway, but I didn't. So here, learn from my mistakes. Anyway, once I got that 19 stitches, which should be maybe 21, but no, I could do it a different way. I'll tell you in a sec. I just put them on hold on the scrap of yarn. Actually, I didn't have any tools, and I just joined this, and I was knitting until I was happy with it, that it passed my hand, and then I did ribbing to pass even more. So you could see it like this. And then I did 1 by 1 with the same yarn, so I will not be confused which is the bottom, which is the top. And then I finished with tubular bind off, because yay, 1 by 1 rib, tubular. Tutorial on the screen, link down below. So anyway, then I came back to the thumbs and I gathered the stitches. So I gathered half of the stitches and then another half of the stitches from the other mitten. So I had one mitten, another mitten, and I took the needle and I gathered from the other side. And I was thinking I should pick up and create 2 more. You know, when you have a gap, normally people do that. Normally. But I was like, oh, let's see what happens. Although I knew I needed 20, I felt a little bit about it, but I had 19 and I thought like, well, let's rock. So I did. Anyway, at the end of the day, it worked. At the end of the day, I could and I can still. That's the beauty about knitting. Just frog did those 2 and just knit it again. But I'm happy with it, and I would just recommend you, when you're grabbing one side and grabbing another one, when you start, just pick up 2 and just go in the round. So when you do one side, then you can pick up another one and do another side. So I did not do any ribbing over here. I was just doing a stocking knit stitch, and then I even though I did not have 1 by 1 rib over here, I did tubular. I know how you can do tubular in some little things. I did. So anyway, that's how it looks, and they are beautiful. I love them because at any stage I can use my hands. The winters are not so cold over here. I don't know, it's not Canada or some parts of America, then you really need like a double layer of this. So I'm just saying it could be probably for your autumn or spring knit, but if you have any, you know, leftovers, go for it. Anyway, I'll check how heavy they are. So now overall they took only 45 grams overall, and as you can see I still have some leftovers. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, and according to my knowledge we have here, correct me if I'm wrong, some nylon in it, so I could use it for socks, but they're so pretty. It's just too pretty. I was thinking a bit of a color work with it as a contrast color, you know, with those specks and stuff. That would be so interesting at some stage. Or if Diane does not mind, I can probably pass it on for another swap and someone else can enjoy it. Diane, let me know. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this one. Subscribe, like, until the next one. Bye. What I'm wearing, links down below. Videos, finish objects. Check it.